You are.
All right. The Raiders won, Rob, 33-27. Lamar Jackson, you mentioned turnovers. Lamar Jackson had 2 costly fumbles in the second half. Yeah,
Huge
big fumbles. Here's what I want to throw at you, Rob. Did Lamar Jackson cost him that game?
100%.
Wow. I'm shocked you went there.
No, I mean, you can't give up the
MVP pick.
No, I know, but you can't give up the football like that. And I get it. They were pressuring him. They were all over him, but you got to control the football. And that was a game that they were up 14-0, Chris, right?
Yep.
Remember
and
the way they started?
Do you know the stat on that?
What's that? When they were up 14?
Under John Harbaugh, they were 81-0, Rob, when leading by 14 points.
Yeah, but you know what the equalizer of that is when you give up the football in the second half.
Right.
And that's where games are won and lost with the turnover battle. I know it's so cliched and what coaches talk about, but it's true. It's like in baseball with walks, Chris. Walks always come around the score, right?
Right.
Like
right.
You walk a guy or two. That Iowa game when the Yankees lost to the White Sox and Tim Anderson hit the walk-off. What happened right before Tim Anderson hit that walk-off home run? They walked the guy.
Right.
It cost you.
Right.
And turnovers cost you. That's why I'm going to say that he cost him the game.
Well, look, both turnovers were in Ravens territory, and both of them led to touchdowns. All right, so you do have that, and they were both in the last 15 minutes of the game. So I feel you on that, and there's no excusing turnovers. However, even with the turnovers, Rob, they were up 3 points with 37 seconds to play. You've got one of the best defenses, allegedly, in the league, and Las Vegas had no timeouts. So if you give me those odds, I'm taking my chance. I like my chances with the Ravens because my defense is supposed to be able to shut down the Raiders and keep them from getting in the field goal position. Instead, they promptly gave up a 20-yard pass and an 18-yard pass on consecutive plays, and next thing you know, the Raiders are kicking a 55-yard field goal to tie it and force overtime. So, Rob, I'm going to put it – there's more about the defense. Well, again, supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league, couldn't get pressure on Derek Carr, even though they were blitzing all night long. And so they gave up 300-plus yards to Derek Carr after halftime. May had him looking like freaking Peyton Manning out there. And then, so I'm going to blame the defense, and I'm going to blame the offensive line. My man Lamar Jackson, Rob, was running for his life.
I thought it was a replay of the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right? No, that's real talk. I mean, with that dilapidated Kansas City front line, you saw that Pat Mahomes was running for his life. And their best offense, now they did run the ball well, and let's just keep it real. Justice Hill, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. I don't know that they would have done it any better with those guys. You know, Tyson Williams, his name Williams.
That wasn't an issue.
Right, they ran the ball fine. Behind, that's their culture. They got to, they can run the football. So they did that well. But their best offense to a large degree was Lamar, make something happen. Shake these dudes up. Get out of, they're rushing you, juke, make some moves, and make things
run for
happen.
50 yards, right.
Yeah. And even his first touchdown pass that made it 14-0, Rob, was to Hollywood Brown at the end, back of the end zone. I don't know if there's another quarterback in the league that could have made that play because he had to avoid like three Ravens to get some room to throw the ball. He rolled out and threw it he ended up scrambling out toward the sideline and threw it to Hollywood Brown at the end of the end zone. So he was sacked 3 times, Lamar. He was pressured on 18 out of his 33 dropbacks. And because of those reasons, I'm going to put the majority of the blame on the offensive line and on the defense. I'm with you on Lamar as far as the turnovers. You can't have them. He even acknowledged that. But I think it's a situation kind of like when people criticize Giannis, Rob. Well, you take Lamar away, and that team's getting blasted. So I just think he did what he could, and I don't put the blame on him.
I hear you, but when you're setting up a team in your own territory, Chris, and you talked about it earlier, you could have a good defense. You give them the ball in your own territory, and they don't have to go far. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and so I don't think it's fair. Those 2 touchdowns were gimmies, not gimmies, but
the
you know
last
what I mean.
field goal, they had
No,
the march.
I get it. I mean, you move it up, and it's a 50-50 proposition that you're going to kick a 55-yarder as time expires. It ain't easy. I've seen many of those go awry, and you hold on and you win. But
right.
I think you can't give up. And you said it. 2 scores, 14 points. It's a big turnaround when you give it up like that.
Did Lamar Jackson cost the Ravens the game last night? 877-99 on Fox. What say you?
All right, let's kick it off with Tony in D.C. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Tony?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, this is one of the times where you guys are both right. Lamar calls them the game because he has to do too much, which is going to cause him to make mistakes when you got to do everything by yourself. So why does he have to do everything by himself? Because he's got no help on the offense. So technically, you're both right. Lamar did cause the game because if he just stopped trying, they lose altogether.
Although, here's what I hear where you're going, but here's what I say to you. If Lamar doesn't do what he did, are they even in the game? The only reason they were in the game was because of his heroics.
Exactly. That's why it's both.
So I don't know that he could have cost
I got it,
them
but
the
Tony, we want you to pick one. On the Odd Couple, we don't play. Pick a side.
If I got to pick one to play with everybody else.
That's why Chris has his point, and he makes good points, and I have mine. So I need you to pick one.
I'm blaming the rest of the team.
Okay.
I'm blaming the rest of the team. If he's the only guy that's going to produce, he's going to have to press. It's the rest of the team.
I'm going to say this, Rob, and thank you, Tony.
Fair,
that's a
Tony.
good call.
Thank you.
I'm going to say this, Rob, and we talked about it briefly yesterday. Lamar, hopefully, I don't know that he's listening, but somebody send this to Lamar. If you don't want to get an agent, cool. Get a lawyer and get your contract signed. Pronto.
Chris, what did I say?
Did you see some of the hits he took?
Yes.
And the first fumble, he landed on his head. Like, if he's going to be running like this, now he's done a great job of, staying healthy. He's defied even my expectations as far as that. But you putting yourself in harm's way when you run that much. And just last night, game number 1, Rob, landing funny, taking shots. Man, go get your money, Lamar. Sign it now. Because, Rob, this isn't charity.
No.
If he gets hurt, it's not. Dak Prescott throws the football better than Lamar.
And
so that's one reason Dallas was right. And he was still fortunate.
He was still fortunate because it could have been worse, Chris, and it turned out that it didn't. But you don't know if your injury is going to be worse. All right, let's go to Robert in Georgia. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Roberto?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, Chris and Rob? How y'all doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Great, man. I definitely got to say, because I know Rob going to make me pick a side, I'm definitely going with Chris on this one. Man, he has to do those heroic things. Did you see that escape from the pocket where he threw that ball to Hollywood Brown in the back of the end zone?
Right. That was a great play.
He has to take those risks to get those, to have them in the game. You got 35 seconds left, 37 seconds left. Y'all can't stop them from driving the whole field and kick a field goal. Y'all supposed to have the best defense. He has to take those risks, and if you don't take those risks, they don't even compete in that game.
Yeah, I got it, but he also gave up two big turnovers in their own territory, which made it easier for the Raiders to score. So you're asking the defense to do an even tougher job when you cough up the football. I get your point. In a perfect world, and we've seen it, Chris, how many times with the hurry-up offense and teams can't move the ball all game, and then in the last minute, right, all of a sudden they're making every play. I mean, it's football. I've seen it a million times. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. What about Max in Georgia? We'll stay in Georgia. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Max?
What's up, my guys? Great game last night. I agree with Rob. Way too many Lamar turnovers.
Of course you do.
It looked like he was going through the drive-thru at McDonald's.
That's what I should have put shekels on. that Max would
Well, he
agree with
lost
Rob.
it 2 times, fumbled it 3 times, Chris. You put the defense in the hold. You're the
Yes.
leader. You want a contract. He still isn't comfortable in the pocket. The Raiders. Shout out to them. They pillaged us for the win last night. They played well. Real quick as a side note, I do not support the other network. You guys know me. However, did you hear from my man Peyton Manning and what he said last night to Russell Wilson's face? He said, if you can't score the ball from the 1-yard line, running it 4 times, you don't deserve to win. Shout out to Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll.
Yes.
Well, what was the context of that? Did he? I mean, was he saying it
when you're
about the
down
Raiders?
at the 1-yard line, you
at
run
the
it
end?
4 times, and he had mentioned bring in Mariota, and his brother was making fun of him, and he said if you can't run it 4 times on the 1-yard line and get it in, you don't deserve to win. And Russell had that little smirk and shut up real quick. He was
No, I
embarrassed.
agree with that. You got to run. I'm with them. Like, you got the best
I'm
running
just
back in the
wondering,
league,
do you
too.
think Peyton just said that? Obviously, he believes that. But do you think he was thinking of, I'm throwing shade at Russ because of their loss to the Patriots in the Super Bowl? Or you think it just kind of was accidental?
Nah, I don't think
shade?
so. I think that's a little
You think he
shade
knew what he
there.
was doing?
I do. Hey, let me give you this, Chris, and here's another reason why I blow your argument out the water.
Oh, please.
Yes, okay, because
Take away your little crony Max and it's 2-0.
no, because Lamar, he has fumbolitis. You
He
know,
does.
like okay, so you could talk about like, oh,
I know Rob G just texted you that.
No,
don't act
giving
like
you-
you just popped into your head. Oh yeah, I forgot.
He got fumbolitis.
He does
And he's
because he
he's,
runs too much.
he's fumbled 34 times in 38 starts. I mean, think of that. I mean, a total of 47
He's
games, but
fortunate
30,
he's only lost like
8
12. Yeah.
38 starts, Chris. He's fumbled 34 times, and only lost
He
12 of
does.
them, right? And he set a record in 2019, right? With
Yeah.
consecutive games with fumbles, 9. So he doesn't have the stickum on his hands. He's got to do a better job. You can't cough up the football that many times.
Even when he's only lost, I believe, 12 of those, Rob.
Yeah.
But even that's a lot.
Yeah, but that's
Right?
a,
That's
but that's
one
a
every
lot of
3
fumbles,
games.
and I
Yeah, that's
get
a lot.
it. That's a
But
lot.
it's just, look, you
Once
got to
a
take
game,
the
you're
good
putting
with
it
the
on the
bad.
turf?
You have to take the good with the bad with Lamar. You really do. I mean, he does some dynamic things, but he runs with the ball. The ball's out. When he's running with it, he's palming it with one hand. And when a team, a player, defender gets a good shot at you, they're going to go for that ball. So